Hello and welcome to It's Not Your Parents' Basement, Denver Metro's only first-time homebuyer show. My name's Olivia Konavicius.
I'm Christian Durland.
And today we are actually here to talk to you about some myths that first-time homebuyers have. We ran across this excellent survey which highlights all these myths and misinformation and fears that first-time homebuyers have. And this is the whole point of our show. We're actually here to give you some really current, real-time information that you can use so you don't have to necessarily be so afraid and misinformed when you're thinking about actually purchasing a property. So Christian, what are some of these myths that they found in the survey?
Well, Wells Fargo did this great survey. They surveyed potential first-time homebuyers, and one of the interesting first stats is 6 million people between the ages of 25 and 34, which surprised me. I thought it would be a lower age.
Right.
But 25 to 34 live with their parents, so hence...
in their parents' basement.
In their parents' basement, probably. So, and that was really interesting to me. That surprised me, but...
exactly, because you wouldn't necessarily think, we assume, you're out of college, you go crash with your parents.
Right.
We're talking about people in their 30s.
Right.
These are working people that are choosing to actually live at home with their parents, so why?
And, probably the most recent recession has got a lot to do with it. Studies have always shown after recessions and the Depression, there's a more sense of community and communal living, but
right.
Still, that is an interesting statistic. But here's some of the other stats in the survey. 30%, so a third of the respondents, believe that only individuals with high incomes can purchase homes, which is totally incorrect. There's a host of loan programs out there for first-time homebuyers, and even layered with low-income folks. And so the government has always been very supportive and always wanted to promote homeownership amongst the lower income brackets. So
right.
That's a big misnomer.
Well, and that doesn't even really speak to what is high income.
Right, exactly.
Is there a perception that you need to be in the six figures if you want to buy a property?
Right.
Is 30,000 low income? Is 15,000? Is 80,000 high income? We don't even know what people's perception
Right.
is.
Well, what's interesting is people have a rent payment, and I guess if they're living with their parents, maybe they're getting a big discount. But still, if somebody is paying a normal rent payment, a mortgage payment is typically pretty consummate with a rent payment.
Right.
So, but again, home ownership is more responsibility than renting. You're not as mobile, things like that. So, 64% of the respondents believe they must have very good credit. And again, what is very good? We don't know exactly what
right.
they maybe thought it was very good, but I know in my experience as a mortgage lender, I've had conversations with people where they come to me and say, well, I had a parking ticket collection 5 years ago, and
right.
they think it's destroyed their credit, and no, their credit's actually very good. So we're not taught about credit in high school, college, anything. You really need to come to somebody like me and get educated on it. And really know what is good credit, what isn't. You'd be very surprised. There's a lot of loan programs out there that support decent credit. As long as you've paid your bills and you have no major issues, you should be all right. So
I was talking to some first-time buyers actually last week, and the one had a credit score of 790, and she said to me, I don't even know, is that good? And
that's
I said,
excellent. She's in the top 5% of the nation.
Right, that's phenomenal. Oh my gosh. So there is a lot of misinformation. Just hands down, if you're at 720 plus, you're great. You're doing great.
Actually, 620 plus. You can, 720 you're doing great, but 620 plus, you can do something.
You're still able to qualify.
Here's the biggest one. 64% of respondents said they're knowledgeable about a down payment, but half of those folks thought that you had to have at least a 20% down payment, which is huge. There's down payment assistance programs that we have available that allow people to get in with essentially no money out of pocket, or very little, maybe $1,000, something like that. So there's options, and there's other low down payment programs available, 3.5% down, 5% down. So you don't have to have a 20% down, and on top of that, you don't have to have perfect credit to qualify for some of these programs.
Exactly.
So,
and we feel like a lot of those perceptions come from generations past, like our parents, for example. Baby boomers, that they did need 20% down to buy. Things are not that way anymore. Like Christian said, 3.5% down is the minimum on FHA, 5% down on conventional. I haven't worked with any first-time buyer unless their parents are giving them money in quite a while that's put 20% down. We just don't have it.
Right.
We
Well,
don't.
and the thing, if everybody was required to put 20% down, our economy would be in shambles right now because
Right.
nobody would be able to buy a home. I mean, even people with very high incomes and high net worth, you'd be very surprised. They still opt for lower down payment options because they don't want to invest that much money.
Exactly.
So it's just, again, it's a huge misnomer. And so we were here to bust the myths, I guess.
Exactly. And having said that, we want to let you know that if you have these questions, come ask us. And essentially, we want you to absolutely write your comments below. Feel free to ask us questions. No question is stupid. We're absolutely here to help because clearly a lot of people just don't know.
Right, exactly. So just wanted to bring you that pertinent information. And until next time,
Always remember.
you'll never forget your first time.
Thanks.
Bye.